The only way we can force clinical trials to change is to actually not only collect data like this, but to put you in front of the companies and say, no, listen to us collectively, right? This is what we're experiencing. So that's something that I'm working on, is to bring our groups to clinical trial companies together. But basically, you go to the register button and you say new user. And no joke, it truly is like 5 minutes, maybe at the most. Now I'm going to talk a lot because I talk a lot, but you click here. This is kind of a preview of what it used to look like, but we keep adding newer things. So you go to the start button and you start by registering. What kind of a person are you? Are you a TBI patient, a caregiver? You're not a patient, but you have symptoms or other. And this is where we ask people what other type you are. So it could be Parkinson's, or it could be stroke. It could be whatever it is for your condition. You go over to your gender, male, female, other. You put in your name. Now I'm going to put in all of my pre-filled information. And this is literally how easy it is. We do not allow children on the dashboard, right? Because of the California Child Protection Act, and because we are HIPAA and everything compliant, that's what we do.
Good.
And we also, if you have any, issues with the terms and agreements, you click here, and it's a big long thing, but it's very transparent. We say we comply to everything. We do need to use aggregated data, meaning no identified data, but this is how we can reshape clinical trials. So we will strip it down and we will say, okay, this is what we have to use it for. But again, only if you choose, and if you say, yes, I agree, then that's it. Otherwise, this is the only way that I can support the platform. So you click to agree, right? Now you have to verify your password, you have to verify your email. So Sally tells you, go to your inbox, check it, and then verify it. And if you see up here, this is the progress bar of how far you are. So I'm going to show you. Can you still see the screen?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So this is the email you get. You click on that verify email. And Sally says, hey, cool, thanks. And so now, in your case, if it's a stroke, you simply click on here for the calendar picker. You move up and down, or you could type it in, right? So I'm just going to grab a simple button.
We're going to talk about
we ask, what was that? I thought that was a question. Then we ask you to tell us about your most recent TBI. Now, again, what we're doing is we're changing this so that as we start getting more and more different kind of brain injury people on there, this will be tailored, but we can keep it straight on the back end side. So the more information, like that story the gentleman shared in the beginning about how he was running and he was having these mini strokes, which is a real thing, right? It's something that you have to be very, very careful about. But the most recent incident in this case. So the more information you put in here, the more we can actually help track and predict behaviors of what will help you versus what won't help you. Then we may ask, how many TBIs have you had, or strokes in this case? You simply click save and continue. Now, in this case, how did your injury occur? Right? Was it from, now again, it's TBI specific. So this is where the more information you guys tell us, the more we can tailor this information to you. So typically when you have a traumatic brain injury, it might be an accident. This might be a bike accident. So as you can see, there's pre-populations for stroke. But here I had a bike accident, right? And where was I injured? I was injured in the back of the head or the left side of the head. But again, if we build this out for somebody with a stroke, all I need to know is, what are the details that make sense to you? And then we can customize the whole entire thing. And what happened? I was terribly disoriented. I was dazed, and I also had loss of consciousness. I save and continue, and I'm almost done. Now I simply ask, what are the symptoms? And we categorize them by, cognitive, sleep, emotional, physical, and we're adding vision and we're adding speech. Very, very specific to everybody. So I'm going to say I can't find the right words. I'm going to say that I also stutter now. I have excessive exhaustion. I have poor and very little sleep. I have terrible mood swings. I'm anxious. I'm depressed. Lack of coordination. And again, every time you add in other, for example, I trip. There it is. It pops in. So you get to customize whatever is specific to you. Now, we ask you to start with 3 symptoms just so you get used to it, but you can add more, and I'm going to show you. So right now, what I want to track stuttering, and I want to track depression, and I want to track my tripping. I save and continue. Now, this is the last piece that we ask for information on, but we collect this every day. These are triggers, and triggers are what exasperates or causes your symptoms to get worse and possibly even get better. So a social determinant of health is something that the federal government is very interested in tracking, because they used to think a person's health care was dependent upon their income, their race, their zip code. And what they're finally realizing is that a person's health is dependent upon what they are exposed to. So anything outside the doctor's office is fair game. So the more we know that you might, so if we use my daughter, for example, if she goes into large crowds, lots of lights, like a shopping mall or something like that, she often has a lot of panic and overwhelming. And then the next day or two, she has to stay in bed because she had very poor filtering going on. So we're careful. In order for her to go out, we're careful when she goes out. We pick times of day so that it's an easy time for her to manage. So what were you exposed to is how I want you to interpret this. And we're going to change the wording here, but just so you can understand, this is what we're trying to drive at, because this is what's going to trigger your symptoms. My other daughter, when she's in a car or she's in any transportation, a metro, she gets the worst conditions as well. She's vomiting for days, not like just immediately. Her vagus nerve is so damaged that she cannot stop vomiting for days on end. And then we'll just say stress. And if there's something else that's triggering you, let's say it's just family issues or work issues, right? So you keep adding them in, whatever matters to you. And that's what this is all about. And then if you don't click this button, Sally doesn't come and get you. You go ahead and pick the time of day that you want to track. So whatever time zone that you're in, and you guys are, where are you? Pacific. And we're done. And that's it. That is how simple it is to set your dashboard up. And then you simply go back to the dashboard, and here it is. You start tracking every single day. And this is where, like I said, once you kind of get used to your 3 symptoms, then you can go ahead and add more symptoms. And you can keep adding up to 10, because that's a lot of symptoms.
Right. And
then you'll get it to look like this chart right here, so you can share it with your doctor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, I mean, that's great too, because you're talking like if we can see this data visually, right, to help communicate effectively and efficiently, this not only helps you get better care, but as you were also talking about, where you could actually share over to clinical trials, like, hey,
yes,
this, according to the aggregate, these are the issues.
Here's what I would love. Here's my big ask.
Please.
When you guys go to the symptoms, or when you go to how you were injured, you can send it in a help ticket, or you can email me directly. What makes better sense? Because I know stroke has to have a different way. You send that to me and we will build it.
When you are an angel and a lifesaver, you are just a gift of God to us. Thank you so much.
You are
I'm so sorry welcome. What happened to your daughter, but clearly God is using it to like help thousands of people. And I just think this is amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But listen, hang in there. We're gonna help you.
All right. All right, everyone, please join me. Say bye.
Bye. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody. I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Okay.